Hey, what's going on, man? Welcome to another episode of Success Leaves Clues. I'm here with one of my guys, man. Went to Rutgers with this young man. Now he's doing phenomenal things in the fitness industry. He actually flew out, had a VIP day with him the last 4 or 5 hours. Got him right. We talked about some growth strategies that he can implement in his business to take it from offline to online and dominate. My guy Pop is in the building. What's up with you, man?
I'm great, man. I'm great. I'm even greater now.
Yeah, how you feel today, man? We went through a lot the last four or 5 hours. Like, where's your mind at right now?
Well, in business, a lot of times, depending on who you are, a lot of times we feel like we're in way better spots than we're in. Mm-hmm. Feel like we're in way better positions, but sometimes you get to points to where you have someone that actually shows you exactly where you are, and although things are not terrible, there's a lot that I learned today of things that I got to build on and things that I got to work on. And for me, it's all about having insight. You know what I mean? So the day was phenomenal, man. You went right through the business, broke it down. You gave me my marching orders, and for me, I feel like I have a clear head. I have way more of a grip on the business and things I got to implement in the business right away. So now I'm in a good space, man. I listen, dude. Like I said it a million times, but I appreciate you for having me.
Doubt.
I appreciate you for giving me this opportunity, man. And I'm me, man. I'm an implementer though, so now I got to go do the work.
It's amazing. I think one of the things I'm passionate about more than anything is now being in this space where we didn't open up businesses to be there full time, right?
Right, no doubt.
And that's like we bought ourselves a job.
No doubt.
So in order to really be successful in business, sometimes you have to step back and work on your business, not so much in your business, right? And giving someone that clarity where they can see like some of the areas where they can, maneuver things a little bit, right, and buy back time. Like one strategy, right, 3 hours a day, we just saved you.
Right.
You know
3 hours a day. Like we literally looked at the business, and he, gave me one strategy that can possibly save me 2 to 3 hours a day. So I mean, 10 plus hours a week. That's huge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because for me, like you said, I looking at it and looking at it from a different perspective. I was like, you know what? I'm spending a lot of hours in here, but the business is picking up, so it's not a big deal. But when I think back to when we laid out the whole plan, and you said, look, but I get it. I understand that, but I understand growth and all this, but like, what do you want?
Right.
I had to really look at what I really wanted out of business and what I want. I got kids. I got to be around for them. I got to spend more time with them. So you can't do that doing 10, 12 hours a day, regardless, So, it gave me a lot of perspective, man. And for me, it just made a lot more sense for me looking at my business from the outside in. Because normally, like you said, when you're working in the business, you don't really see it.
Right.
You see the money coming in.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you tend to justify. Like for me, I justify a lot
sure.
in business. Like, well, you know what? I'm working a lot of hours, but
I'm taking care of them. Like they good.
Yeah, they good.
Yeah.
They're good, but it's not. That's not.
Our coach used to say something, man. I think about it all the time, man. And he talks about your number one ability is your availability. Yeah. And a lot of times our kids, what I'm saying, they just want us. No, they ain't tripping about all that type of stuff. So when we talking about just a championship lifestyle, it's just not business, right? It's fitness, it's health, self-development, right? We're talking about books, talking about finances, talking about spirituality. Like it's this holistic being that you have to be in order to present yourself best at work.
Right.
And I think definitely putting you on that journey and understanding, buying that time back, and then also talking about strategies that we can scale and make more money, right?
Right.
So that's what you want. Make more money, work less hours.
I'm telling you, dude, especially like the product development.
Right.
Like when for me having a service business, you looking to scale. So in the midst of looking to actually scale the business, you're not all the time looking at adding more services. Right. Not really adding products that, you can scale the business without spending 10, 12 hours a day in the business. So,
our last time I talked to you, talked about buying a bigger facility.
Yeah, true.
And you already got an 8,000 square foot joint.
Yeah, word.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's so many ways now.
That's why you threw that in there.
Yeah,
like,
right?
bro, true. Yeah.
Right? So it's just like with the input of the internet, right? So taking your business offline to online and dominating, man, it just you can see that same level of success without having that stress.
Yeah, no doubt.
Nah, so that's dope. So one thing, so highly recruited,
right,
out of Belglades, Florida, right?
No doubt.
So talk to me a little bit, right? So Florida boy came to Rutgers. Like, what would your experience? Why Rutgers? I'm sure you get recruited by a lot of the other schools. What sold you on Rutgers?
I mean, I think the main thing that sold me on Rutgers is that, you know, opposed to a lot of the other schools that was recruiting me at the time, you know, they just kept it real. Right. You know, they didn't, and for me, it got to a point to where I just like to hear what I like to hear, you know. But at the time, it was Mario Cristobal. He just kept it real. He like, look, man, in order for things to work out, you know, there's things that you're gonna have to do here, and you know, we're not guaranteeing you anything. You got to work. Yeah. And that's what, like, it's not what I wanted to hear, but it's what I needed to hear at the time. Everybody's just telling me, all these schools recruiting me, telling me what I wanted to hear. And you know, when I spoke to my mom about it, she was like, nah, well, at least you know he's being real. Right. You know what I mean? And then I decided to take a visit here. Yeah. And they took me to Times Square, bro. It was over.
Yeah, Times Square. It hit different, bro.
Bro, what? Bro, I'm from a small town. Like, I'm from a small town, dude. Oh. I mean, literally, in my town, we don't even have a Walmart, dude. Like, that's how. Yeah. It's like we don't have Walmart, movie theater. Like, it's football, cane fields, and you know what I mean. Yeah. It's just a little town, man. And so you know, getting off the train into Times Square, man, it just your perspective changed. You know, in general. You know, experiences change your perspectives in general. So, yeah, for sure. Like, for me, man, that experience, seeing that, it just really showed me that, bro, it's way more out here. And it was nothing like that. I went to a lot of different schools. It was nothing like Times Square. I was like, the lights, the people. I said, yeah, it's making more sense. And before I left Times Square, I committed. People didn't they couldn't they thought it was other stuff under the table going on, but it wasn't. It was just it was the experience. It was the experience, and it was the the.
But the one thing I think about Shiano, right, and it's funny, depending on what era you played in, you know how people view him, right. But to a worker who wasn't afraid of hard work and did the right thing,
no doubt,
like he was the man.
Yeah, no doubt.
He was trustworthy. Like he wanted the best out of you.
Yeah, no doubt.
And when you don't cut corners, that's what you want.
Right, no doubt. And Shiano is all about his players. Right. He's one of those guys that's gonna go balls to the wall for his players, man. Right. And you know that when you come into the program and you sit down with him, you know he got your back. You know. So that was another thing that really kind of made everything stick, you know, as far as me choosing Rutgers. And I'm still in Jersey. So I mean,
got you a Jersey girl?
Yeah, man.
You got shout out to your wife.
Shout out to my wife, Debbie.
Yeah,
and Chin Beckford.
Yeah, holding it down for sure.
Nah, she holding it down, man. And shout out to my two boys.
Yeah, that's dope, man. So the crazy part, the one thing that really stood out to me, right? So I was a senior at Rutgers when you came in. Pop came in probably like 5% body fat, benching probably like 450. Yeah. I think one time I was like, yo, this dude was different. I think when you was curling from a dumbbell, from a barbell, I think it was like 135. Yeah. I was like, yeah, this dude different, yo. Yeah. I was like, I gotta use my whole body. You strict curling 135. Like,
I'm gonna tell you why, man. Like I started working out early. Yeah. Like I got a lot of brothers. I got 7 brothers, so it's 8 boys. And I got a brother that's 2 years older than me, and we used to get into it all the time, man, for nothing. Like, you know how it is, the big brother thing. And I said, bro, as soon as mom let me start working out, some things gonna change. Right. Bro, and she let me off the hook. Like, I was going into 7th grade. She was like, you know what? You can join the after-school program. You can lift weights. And, bro, from there, it was on. Yeah. And, I mean, I was going hard. Like, I was going hard from 7th grade. So, by the time I got into high school, I was already one of the strongest guys. And by the time I got into Rutgers, I was, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, it was like years and years. A lot of people a lot of athletes, they don't start really training until like sophomore year, you know. I was in 7th and 8th grade, I was in, weightlifting competitions and stuff. So for me, man, I had already had years into the game. So by the time I got to Rutgers, I was pretty seasoned, you know what I mean?
So I will say this though, squat, bench curls. Yeah. I mean, bench curls, hang clean. Your squat wasn't. Your legs was never like your.
No.
What was your squat? Max squat.
I was a 600-pound squatter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I benched my heaviest bench was 530.
Woo.
Yeah, power clean, and I power clean 395.
Sheesh.
Man, you better go check them numbers, man.
Hey, bro, I told JB when I go back and see the board up, I was like, yo, you missing some spots, man. Yeah. I'm up there a couple of times, you know what I'm saying? Short shuttle, hang clean.
Nah, but you know what though? That board like changed a lot though. You know what I mean?
Bro, like
I think over the years, as the years passed by, they kind of kept their favorite guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I definitely had a 600 squat up there. And I don't see myself represented on that board. So.
But I'm gonna tell you though. So me and you in the same boat.
Right.
But it's some guys up there, 630, 640, 650. You got me was doing 650. Joe Giacobbe doing 650, 660.
But they had it by position though.
Yeah, you're right.
So it wasn't necessarily, you know what I'm saying?
Who was the heaviest up there? Who was the heaviest up there since the last time you saw it?
I don't know. I don't know. I know I did 600, almost passed out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We used to have the beepers on our thighs when we had to go down and
we ain't had that.
Yeah. So my joint was an official joint. Yeah. So now
I never hit 400 on a clean though. That was my.
You never hit it?
Nah, never.
Nah. I think I was 385 and I hang cleaned it.
Right.
But then I split jerked it though.
Right. Oh, word.
Nah, that joint was vicious.
Word.
So hang clean was always the toughest max out there, right? Mm-hmm. Let me tell you why. So most of the time, bench press, dudes will fail on bench press. They got a spotter. You fail on squat, and I'm saying you drop the bar or whatever. It ain't that bad. Bro, you miss a heavyweight on hang clean?
Oh, no, it's coming. Without a doubt.
Bro, somebody ran through the mirror.
Yeah, no doubt.
Somebody blew out their knee.
No doubt.
And then you got 3-7. Like, yo, I don't know if I'm going to max out today.
Nah, man, but as a football player, that's your foundation.
Oh, hang clean.
You know what I'm saying? Clean. You know what I mean? The explosive movements. You know what I mean? So, yeah. When we was doing snatches and everything.
Oh, everything.
You know what I mean?
Man, crazy. I remember I was single leg lunging 315.
Oh, yeah, See, I don't know. I think by the time we got – so I was a freshman when you were there, right?
Right.
So I think by the time I was like at your – senior, junior, we wasn't doing there was a lot of things that they were staying away from.
You know why? Because we got hurt. I pulled my hamstring the next week. My chin exploded.
Yeah.
So it's just like at some point, the weight room, you know what I'm saying? You have to be like, we ain't in this to be bodybuilders.
Right.
It's performance on the field.
Without a doubt.
So they got a lot better with that. But
I think that y'all last year, they changed a lot up. Because your senior year, a lot of guys had hamstring injuries.
Right.
Hamstrings and groins.
Yeah.
So I think we got a lot more functional after that year. I think Shiano wasn't having it.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. But shout out to JB though. JB was
beast. JB a beast, man. That's why I got into it, why I got into it.
So let's talk about what you get into cuz now, right? You took what you learned there and now you became like a certified fitness super trainer in New Jersey. So your spot is what town is your spot is in?
I'm in Sterling. So I'm in Sterling, New Jersey. Yep.
And what's the name of your joint?
Street. Grind Time Fitness.
Grind Time Fitness. Why you name it Grind Time?
It's all about the grind, man.
Man.
It was simple to me. Before I started my own business, I was working for a business that's all they did. They trained combine athletes, getting guys ready for the NFL combine, and it's the place I trained at coming out of college. And I don't know, man. It was just an overarching a theme of the grind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once you get out of college, and then once you start that pursuit to that next level, that's what a grind. Because we look at college as a grind, but that next level pursuit is really a grind.
Yeah, for sure.
Flying in, working out.
Yeah.
Flying back, not knowing now you can't really work a real job. You gotta do some odds and ends to make money till you get that next invite to.
Yeah.
So it's a real grind. So for me, I used to always just tell them, boy, look, man, you gotta grind through it, bro.
Yeah.
And when I got an opportunity to like start doing my own thing, I just, it was pretty simple to me. You know what I mean?
Nah.
I would be lying if I said, I sat back and I thought about it and it took months. It was just like,
that's
this what it. Before I even left there, I had in my mind, I sketched out the logo design. And that's what it was. Yeah, man.
That's dope.
And I just stuck with it.
Nah, that's great. So question for you, right? So fitness, obviously, I do some fitness myself, right? Word. So I always struggle, right, around my stomach area, right? So let's talk about this six-pack, right? So it's a myth about six-packs. So what's the easiest way to get a six-pack? Or not easiest, or how do you get a six-pack?
All right. We talked about this earlier, man. Right. I feel like we make getting really lean, I think we make it way more complicated than it is. All right. I think number one, six-pack is based on, how lean you are as an individual. You know what I mean? So, first and foremost, you need to understand your daily caloric intake, right? Wow. You need to understand how many calories you're consuming, right? Once you understand how many calories you're consuming, then you need to break that down by at least 500 calories to get yourself at a caloric deficit, right? It's the key. You know what I mean? A lot of times we try to out-train the diet. It's impossible. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of simplify it, man. You know what I mean?
So what's the simplest way to figure out what's your caloric intake for the day?
All right. So what my rule of thumb is, you take your body weight, right? You multiply it by 10.
Right.
The number that you get, that would be your daily caloric intake. You know what I mean?
Wow. So then if you want to lose weight,
right,
you got to eat less calories.
Facts.
Then if you want to gain weight, you eat more calories.
More. And if you want to gain weight, so if the goal, a lot of us is we played football. Right. I was a hard gainer.
Right.
You had to gain. Right. So you would take, if you need to gain weight, you would take your body weight at the time, like wherever you are. You would multiply that by 15, and the number you get would be your daily caloric intake, which will put you at a surplus, right?
Right.
So by 10 will put you at a deficit. By 15 will put you at a surplus. All right. And if you really don't know exactly where you are, you give yourself like a week. You consume your calories on a regular basis. You just jot everything down. You can use the app like MyFitnessPal. Just jot down everything you consume. Once you get an idea of where you are, you can multiply that by 12, and that'll kind of keep you. That should keep you at or you could just keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not really focus on it. You know what I mean?
So, question for you. So, are all calories built the same?
Nah, man.
So when you talk about caloric intake, you ain't saying I could just eat a Big Mac and that's all I eat.
Nah, man.
Because some people they mess me up like, man, I'm on a diet. I'm gonna eat once today.
Right.
I'm like, bro, that ain't how it works. I don't think you could just eat once and that's it, right?
You want to dense nutrient foods, man. You know what I mean?
So what do you mean by that?
300 calories in a donut and 300 calories in chicken is two totally different things.
Right.
Two different energy sources, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have, when you consuming protein, you're not gonna have those insulin spikes and insulin crashes, right? So when you consume something like simple carbohydrates, like cakes, pies, that's simple carbs, right? Those simple carbs is a lot of sugar, and you're gonna have the insulin spikes and the insulin crashes. With the insulin crashes, that's where you're gonna get the weight gain, so to speak, right? So you wanna eat, high dense, nutrient dense foods. You know what I mean? Dark leafy greens, proteins, you know what I mean? And, and good fats.
Right.
Nuts and seeds and olive oil.
What's a good carb?
A good carb would be something like a sweet potato, wild rice. You know what I mean? Oats.
Butter, cinnamon, sugar on my sweet potatoes.
That's terrible. Because I'm going to tell you something. Because I know a lot of people look at, nutrition programs like keto. And it has like heavy cream.
Oh yeah.
It has butter.
Cause they just fat. They don't care what the
fat. Just fats. It's just fats. Me, I'm not a big fan of that. I just feel like I think it's good for now, but getting your fuel from fats is I just really
because the joint is like, yo, you can eat steak every day of the week. I'm like,
right.
I don't think you want to put that much cholesterol in your diet, bro.
And it works like, it works for people. Like I do intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember the first time I tried to do intermittent fasting, and it didn't feel. I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
And then I gave it a try. I gave it another try. But what I did was, I didn't go right into the general intermittent fasting, 16-hour fasting time, 8-hour feeding time. I just broke it down. I did, okay, let me just stay strict with 10 hours. I won't eat for 10 hours, right? And then I bumped that up to 12 hours, right? And then I bumped from there up to 14 hours.
Right.
And then once I got to 16 hours, I was like really consistent there, but it was still a little bit uncomfortable. So what I did was I started structuring out my week is 4 hours of true intermittent fasting, 16-8. The rest of the time is 12. You know what I mean? 12 hours of fast. So if I eat at 8, my last meal is at 8 at night, I won't eat again till 8 in the morning, right? But like I said, 4 of the days will be a true 16-hour fast. So
wow,
you know what I mean? And for me, it works.
Nah, that's dope. I think the main thing, and this is what anything in life, like so many people, look at this blanket advice, and it's like, nah, brother, you got to customize it.
Right.
Like whatever works for you on your schedule.
Right.
Like you got to take the framework of caloric intake and eat at a deficit.
Right.
But you can't take what he telling you exactly word for word.
Right.
Because your body different.
And just like we was talking about as well, man, you got to be a little bit more strategic, right? And just a little bit more aware of kind of how you eat and how you consume your foods. Just like we were saying, you was like, yo, like, sometimes it's not even about eating till I'm 80% full. Right. But you got to think about it, right? If you sit down, right, and the goal is for you to get as lean as you possibly can, right? And you sit down and you eat. Normally when we get to 80% full, right? Like if we got 20% food left on the, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if we're 80% full, we are good. You know what I'm saying? The majority of the time we force ourselves to eat more. Right. So for one, we're forcing ourselves to finish all the food on the plate, right? Then we force ourselves to eat cheesecake at the end. Then in the midst of that, we sit at the table for another 15, 20 minutes and have drinks. And we wonder why, okay, I've been eating good all week, but on Saturday, I ate like this. Cheat day. On Sunday, cheat day.
I can't have a cheat day?
Nah, you can have a cheat meal, man.
Dang.
Look, you got to think about it, right? So if your daily caloric intake is, say you consuming 2,000 calories, right?
Right.
You got me?
Yeah.
So you figure you're doing 10 in a 5-day mark.
Right.
12, 14,000 calories in a full month.
Right. In a full week.
I mean in a full week, I'm sorry.
Right.
But you're consuming, when you go out on Saturday and Sunday, you're consuming extra drinks, you're consuming extra dessert. Now you're consuming an extra 15 to 2,000 calories just on those 2 days alone. So now you go from your weekly caloric intake of 14,000 to 18,000.
Right.
Now you take
4,000.
that, you 4,000 calories over, which puts you at a weekly caloric surplus instead of a caloric deficit. Right. And then you wonder why, man, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing throughout the week. I'm working out 5-6 days a week. And my body still looked the same 6 weeks later. And this is the hardest I've worked out in a long time. Well, at the end of the day, you're not working out, you're not burning enough calories to wear off those extra 4,000 calories you're consuming on the weekend. So that's where we get caught up at. Like you just gotta be strict. You know what I mean? You gotta be as strict and disciplined as possible. And understand that, hey, listen, I'm doing this for the sustainability of it, right? So I want it to be sustainable, but I have to be aware. Like I know I want a burger. So let me have a burger, but I'm not going to have drinks and cheesecake with it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm going to have a burger. I'm going to have a salad on the side. I'm going to have some water because I want the burger. And I'm going to have a couple fries. But I'm not going to have a pile of fries, the burger, just because it's Saturday and it's my cheat day. And then in the morning, I had Eggo waffles, eggs with cheese on it, bacon. And then for lunch, me and the kids when they got ice cream. Yeah. And then I had a hot dog over there. And then at dinner, you know what I'm saying? You throwing everything you did throughout the week, you throwing that away. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like and another thing though, when you decide to do a program, you got to stick with that program. A lot of us will get on the program and then we'll try to modify it. Of course, you got to modify it here
stuff.
and there.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if the program says you're supposed to be at this amount of calories and you're supposed to train like this, then you got to give it a shot. You got to give it a shot for at least 4 to 6 weeks to see if it works or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So talk a little bit about that, because we talked about programming. We talked about, different fitness coaches, right? Have all separate programs. We looked at it.
Yeah. No, it was funny though.
We looked at it.
You thought I was tripping. He looked at me like, nah, bro, I'm just saying. Go ahead.
So we looked at it today, right? So out the gate, week 1, right? When one man had 100 bench press at like
bro, the first day, look, bro, the first day, like, look, listen, at the end of the day, I feel like all programs should have a ramp to it, right? There should be progressions built in every program, right? And when you build it out a program, you can do whatever you want to do as a coach, but I just feel like it's always necessary to build out a program and have it as, minimal as possible, but also have, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't build a program out to where you really have no wiggle room. You know what I mean? Like, we looked at the program, it had 100 reps on bench with 10 push-ups in between each set. Yeah. The first time. Imagine if somebody doing that program that haven't worked out in 4 or 5 years.
Imagine
they're gonna get discouraged right away.
Imagine if they get 8 counts on the bench.
Come on, man.
That's a long day, bro.
Imagine if they get, that's what I'm saying. Because it's also based on percentages as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just feel like, as a coach, you got to be aware of that. And for me, building out programs, I have to make sure like the program has the ability to progress. Because you can easily say, look, well, if this is what you can do here, then if this is not enough, then you can, you know what I mean? But I think the general program, especially when you start, you gotta be smart about that. You know what I mean? You gotta be smart about that and actually who's consuming the content that you're putting out. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's dope. That's dope.
So
last area I kind of want to address, because I deal with this a lot. I coach my kids on the weekend, and these helicopter parents and parents. Obviously, they want the best for their kids. Right. They train their kids. Like, what advice would you kind of give the parents, right? Because at the end of the day, the kid's not the one buying the groceries, right? The kid's not the one deciding what they're doing, where they're going. But parents, all right, he always doesn't eat snacks all day. You buying the snacks.
Without a doubt.
So, but not even from a dietary standpoint, because I think your diet not only includes what you eat, but what you listen to, how people talk to you.
Right.
All those things matter, right? What type of household they grow in. So if you're feeding a kid a lot of negativity, you have the job of to build them back up, right?
No doubt.
But as a parent, what are some tips you could give them if they could be mindful so they could build championship level athletes?
Well, I think, in general, because I got young kids as well, you know what I mean? I think everything you're doing now as far as, their activity level, the way they consume their foods, I think you're just priming them and prepping them for what they're going to do in the future. You know what I mean? So if their lunches is all snacks and, it's not going to be a huge shift. They're just going to do. That's why you get a lot of overweight parents. The kids are the same way. And then you got parents that's in really good shape. A lot of times the kids is going to follow suit. So I think when you're looking at just kids in general, you just got to understand that whatever you're doing, you're prepping them and priming them for the future. And, if you want them to be out of shape and you want them to be sitting around, eating junk, then you keep doing that. And that's pretty much what's going to be the outcome. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now,
And I think it's about developing habits, right?
Yeah.
I think the habits that you develop, knowingly or unknowingly, those things are sticking with that kid.
Without a doubt.
And I think you got to be mindful of, as a parent, of, like you said, how you're feeding him, what you're eating.
They're watching.
What you modeling.
They're watching. They're modeling it. They're watching, man.
And that the whole do as I say, not as I do thing.
It don't work. That's not. It's like you going to Burger King every day, but you telling them you shouldn't be eating. No, you can't. You know what I mean? I understand that there's times, dude, that my kids are in the gym with me and I work out while they're there, just so they see, like, you know, they see me as the superhero. They like, my dad's the strongest man in the world. You know what I mean? Like, when we eat, I'm like, Junior, like, or I'm talking to Kai, I'm like, you know, like, you can have that, but you know that's not, like, you know what I mean? I just really had to, me and my wife had to go over, kind of building out their lunches and stuff, because she understands that they're kids and you can't take away everything from the kid. But I'm like, dude, instead of like having the cookies right there, you gotta get them some clementines or something. Like they can't, like of course they have a long day. Like now they're back in school, so they have a long day through school, and after school they have aftercare. Right. So she want them to have like little snacks and stuff like that. But I'm like, at the end of the day, what are we doing? Like, what?
But pretzels, there's some healthy snacks, right?
Yeah. And see, but it's still priming and prepping. Like, if you introduce the kids to that, then they'll like that, they'll want that. But if you tell a kid they gotta eat Oreos or pretzels, what are they gonna pick? No, you got an option to pick one of the two. What are they gonna pick? So I think it's just important. It's just important of kind of, just like you said, building those habits, as well as, you know, you got to walk it too, man. You know what I mean? They got to see you ordering grilled chicken and salads, and you know what I mean? You know, and choosing, you know, better things, better things nutrition wise than, you know. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? So, you know, like I said again, man, it's all about they watching, right? You know, and we can. You'd be like, do what I say, not as I do, but
nah, that don't work out. Nah, for sure.
Out, bro. You know what
so I mean? last question. So name of the podcast, Success Leaves Clues, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like there's been times, conversations, or things that you just learned, right? Like in your life, fitness career, like married. How long you been married now?
Almost 10 years.
Wow, 10 years. Congrats. That's awesome.
Appreciate it.
So what is one like clue of success that you would kind of leave with somebody, right? Maybe think of your younger self, you know what I'm saying? Just graduated high school or just graduated college, going into your career. Like what clue would you give yourself about, you know, just life in general that you think will be helpful for that person?
I would say, me personally, singularity of focus.
What do you mean by that?
I would say whatever you get into, you follow through until completion, man. Wow. You know what I mean? I think for me, and you know, in my life, I've done multiple things. And I've always done multiple things: music, fitness, football. And it's always been the fact of being afraid to fail, right? They always say, you know, plan B. But a lot of guys that have made it to the highest levels, singularity of focus. You know what I'm saying? You got to think, and for me, I think, you know, locking into something and really pushing until you finish it, you know, pushing it through to completion is, you know, that would be my thing. I told you before, I showed you how many programs that we went over, and I was like, yeah, I supposed to finish that. Yeah. You know what I mean? That could be another source of, you know, revenue right. that's coming in that I'm really not actually putting a whole lot of work in the midst of all the stuff we went over as far as creating online products. So I think having that singularity of focus, setting your mind to something and say, I'm going to get it done, and then doing everything possible to actually complete that. You know, I think that's, you know, and with anything, a lot of these athletes, man, you know, you're going to go to school and the teacher going to tell you, nah, you need a plan B. But you can't play the game of football trying to get to the NFL with a plan B in mind. It just don't work like that. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? It's just but lock in.
So the crazy thing is mastery, right?
Right.
Create mastery. But second, you're much better off with a plan B.
Right.
After you did what it took. And you fell short, right? Because it's this whole thing, like if you shoot for the moon, you'll land with the stars. Yeah. And I think most people's problem is not that they set their goals too high and they miss, is that they set their goals too low and they hit them.
Right, no doubt.
Right, so those low expectations for your life.
Contentment.
Right? They say complacency is like, man, you give a guy some good food, a solid girlfriend, you know what I'm saying, Nintendo, something like that, right? He'll give away all his dreams.
No doubt. Yeah, I mean, and we see that.
And it's just like for you, like you're saying, that singular focus, having some type of purpose for yourself, for your life that's bigger than you.
Right.
Right. That drives you. You know what I'm saying? But like people are like, yo, how do you get up so early in the morning? But like, bro, I don't have to set a clock, bro. Like I got stuff to do.
No doubt.
Ron J was like, I owe too much, bro. What you talking about?
No doubt. Fact.
It's a legacy.
I love that. I love that. Ron J, my guy, man. That's my dude.
So I think that's it, man. But man, I appreciate you, bro. I can't wait. Obviously, we're gonna do more of these things.
Yeah, no doubt.
Some fitness. We might put a fitness program together. Some supplements.
Nah, we're gonna definitely do it.
We working on it.
Nah, we got some stuff. I mean, we you know, with you and with me, man, and with your drive and my drive, we definitely need to like.
Link up.
Make it happen.
And he gonna get me a 6-pack, y'all. This summer, I'm coming for y'all.
Yeah, I'm holding you accountable, bro.
All the abs, yo.
Yeah, bro. I'm literally FaceTime you. Like I see you on Instagram at dinner. Nah, dinner.
Hey, bro.
FaceTime you, bro.
Hey, put that chicken down, bro.
I'm gonna say, hold on, bro. Let me see your food, bro. But listen, man. Like it's all like we need to. Aside from everything else, I appreciate the opportunity. That's why I came here, flew way in to I needed this, and it served me 10 times over, man. So I appreciate it.
Nah, no doubt. Much love. Hey, so that's it, man. Another episode of Success Leaves Clues. One time, tell them how they can get in contact with you, some of your programs. What's your website? What's your info?
All right, my website is grindtimefitness.com. Online, you can follow me, Get GT Fit, Instagram, and yeah, man.
TikTok, you busting. You gotta give me a TikTok.
Oh yeah, Will Knows Fitness on. I forgot, dude.
Bruh.
You know, yeah.
You probably got 1 million followers, though.
Yeah. Nah, I got a good. I ain't 1 million yet, but I got a. Yeah. So TikTok, Will Knows Fitness. Yeah, check me out. And for TikTok, it's heavy on the motivation. So if you're looking to get motivated, you're looking for, a little inspiration, definitely check it. As well as workouts. I got a couple workouts on that too. So if you're looking for, that type of content, definitely check me out at Will Knows Fitness on TikTok for sure.
Nah, that's dope, man.
Appreciate you.
Hey, appreciate your fan, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that's great, man. Another episode of Success Leaves Clues. Hey, like this. Hey, tag your buddy in there who be telling you about that whole cheat day type thing, dog. Bruh, it's a cheat meal.
Yeah, cheat
meal.
Right?
Stop killing yourselves.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey, y'all be good, man. Take care of yourself, man. Love y'all. Hope we all make it, man. Another episode of Success Leaves Clues. We out of here.
Yes, sir.